I feel like before I can get better, I have to talk about the issues I feel like that are holding me back. And I know I come on here a lot and I talk about my problems. That's because, like I said, this is like therapy for me, and it's like getting a weight off my chest when I talk about certain stuff that I don't really share with other people. So one of my biggest problems is isolation. So we're gonna talk about isolation. So I isolate myself a lot. Um, I stay in my room a lot. I don't really go anywhere. Don't really leave the house. I isolate myself, but I'm not anti-social, if that makes any sense. Well, to a certain extent, I'm not leaving the house. I'm not staying in my room because I have anxiety or I just hate people. No, I actually like people. I actually like interacting with people. I'm just isolating myself because I don't feel like I'm worthy enough to interact with people within the state I'm in. I don't feel like I bring enough value to the table. So I do this thing where I'll keep to myself and just, work on myself or self improve or lock in or whatever you want to call it. That when I feel like I've done enough and I guess and I've done enough to where that when someone sees me, they be like, "Oh, what have you been doing? Like you look different, or you speak different, or you think different because I've been building my self worth." So a lot of people really don't see me as I just keep to myself. Even the people in my household, I don't really interact with. I just I'm just here. I'm just here, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing because I'm always waiting for the perfect moment, and the perfect moment is never going to come. And everybody that loves me and care about me is everybody who's in my life right now. And I'm 31 right now, and it won't be until I'm 70, 80, 90, whatever, however I'm allowed to stay on this earth, that I realized, wow, everybody who really loved me was really there for me the whole time, and I was just too stuck in my dark clouds to see it. I'm just in my head a lot. I'm in my head. I'm in my head a lot. I'm always thinking about what I could be doing, where I'm at in life, my decisions that lead up to where I'm at in life, my mental state. I'm just running through a whole bunch of shit in my mind that just keeps me to myself. And that's why I love making videos because I don't speak to anybody about anything that goes on with me in my mind. I used to, but then I stopped doing that because I used to feel judged or used to feel not taken seriously or used to feel like he just want attention. So I stopped doing that. Now, if I have any issues that arises in my headspace, I usually just, you know, press record and, get it off my chest and give it to the world, and whatever comes back to me is what comes back to me. Yeah, but I spent a lot of time in isolation, a lot of time in solitude, and that's not good, and that's really really not good, because for those who know, in the prison system they use isolation and solitary confinement as a punishment. When you do something bad, do something wrong, they they take you away from everybody as punishment for weeks, for months. They take you away from your whole social system. As humans, we're meant to socialize. We're meant to interact with one another. I've been told before that no one man is an island. Like no one man is an island. It's a community. You need a community. So back to what I was saying, like they use isolation and solitude as punishment in the prison system. As punishment. Now, when I think about it, I'm thinking like I'm punishing myself. Why am I punishing myself? I'm punishing myself. Why? I feel like I've done something wrong. I feel like I need to punish myself for my decisions I made in the past. I don't know. Like I say, I wish I had the answers for my feelings, but sometimes you can't answer. You don't have the answers for how you feel. You just feel the way you feel, but you can't explain why you feel the way you feel. I can't explain it. So every time I'm in isolation for days on days in, I feel like I'm punishing myself. I'm in the prison, like I'm in a mental prison that I have to punish myself for the decisions I've made in the past, from where I'm at in life at this very moment. I have dreams, I have aspirations that I want to achieve. I believe life is a beautiful thing. Like to be here is a beautiful thing, but it's certain systems in place that makes you just want to shelter away from it, because you notice how fucked up it is. But once you hear, you hear. You can't really do nothing about it until it's your time to go. And some people, they go unexpectedly. Some people go, go, horrific accident. Some people go by violence, and some people go by self-inflicted. Now, I was more the person on the latter side, and I always said, like, I would always, if I was to pass away, it would be by my own hands. And I know that sounds crazy to say, but I felt like that was the way I would leave this earth. And that's something, while I'm in isolation, while I'm in my solitude, that's something you think about constantly, 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 constantly. Like you always think of the negative. You think of the negative before you ever think of the positive, especially when it comes to yourself. I'll think of one positive thing I did, then I'll automatically think of 10 negative things. So while I'm in my solitude, I'm thinking, you're not good enough. You will never be good enough. Why you here? Why you? Nobody will care if you're gone. You know, the earth can keep spinning. You know, just. I struggle with self worth. I struggle with self worth, and I know this is a habit I have to break out of. But I've been like this so long. I've been alone for so long, so fucking long that it's just it's just natural to me. It's just natural to me. But if you talk to anybody that know me, anybody anybody that know me from work, um, family, friends, whatever, they'll tell you, you know, oh, he's a good guy, you know, cool guy, cool to talk with. You know, no problems. You will hear no negative feedback because when I'm out in the world, I don't give off that energy like I hate myself or I hate the world or I isolate myself or I have negative thoughts about myself. I don't give that off. It's like I put like on a mask. It's like a mask. But as soon as I get by myself and the sun goes down and the lights get low and I have no one to talk to, no one to call, no one to message, I realize that I'm missing something. I'm missing something. I'm missing something that no dollar amount, no dollar amount could fix. I used to think that, you know, buying stuff would make me happy. Buying like material stuff like cars, shoes, clothes. And they did to a certain extent. It did to a certain extent. And then you ever buy something that you really, really wanted? You really, really wanted it. Then a week or two go by and you start checking for it less and less and less and less and less until the point where you don't even care for it no more. Or you just buying stuff just for the validation of other people because you know they'll praise you for it or they'll give you approval for it. That was me. That was me. Now the only thing now I realize money really doesn't buy happiness. It buys comfortability. But I'm gonna save that for another video. But yeah, solitude, man. I have to get out of my shell. I have to be more open. But you know what's funny? I'm super, super, super vulnerable on here, but in real life, it's so hard for me to be vulnerable. It's so hard for me to talk about my feelings or talk about what's going on in my life or just get it. It's so hard for me. I feel judged. I feel judged. I feel less of a man. I feel like as a man, you can't really talk about your feelings. Like you can't really you can't really do that. You're looked at it. You're looked at as the provider. You know, the head of the household. You got to be strong. You got to be fearless. So to talk about you're going through something mental or depression or you isolating yourself, they're like, bro, they look at you crazy like, bro, snap out of it. Like, what you doing? Snap out of it. Go get some money. Go talk to some bitches or let's get a drink. Nobody really understands, but not, but behind closed doors, I don't know these people either. So you never know. They might just be putting on a mask just like me, and don't want to be vulnerable. And to protect their vulnerability, they put the mask on and tell me to toughen up, tell me to put my mask back on. That's what they telling me. They telling me, hey, your mask is falling off. Put it back on. Put it back on. Your mask is falling off. So then I put it back on. I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't really have no solutions to most of these problems. And that's the problem. I don't have a solution. I don't know the solution. I'm I'm just figuring it out just like y'all. I'm figuring out life just like you. I don't have the answers. Me and you, we're co-workers in this game called life. We're co-workers. I work with you. So when you figure it out, you let me know. You know? But yeah. The reason I make these videos because like I said, I never know who watches this. I don't have clearly I don't have the answers to all my issues, all my perceived issues I make up in my head. I don't have all the answers, so you never know who watches these, and they could, say, hey, you know what, I've gone through the same thing, and this is what I did to get over it, or you never know, you never know, so never know, you never know. Anyway, I just had to get that off. I hope everybody's doing blessed. If you're going through any similar situation, similar situation, now I'm gonna tell you this, but I'm also telling myself it does get better because I've been through this multiple times, in and out, in and out, in and out. This cycle of isolation, depression. I've been through it, and it's periods in my it's periods where I feel like I would never escape it. Then there's periods where I got out of it and it wouldn't cross my mind. But those are usually more periods when I'm busy. When you're busy and you got things going on, you don't really have time to sit down and think about certain mental issues or whatever you got going on. Because you're busy. You're trying to gotta keep the boss happy. Gotta make that money. Gotta gotta buy the kiddies the gifts. Gotta buy the girlies what they want. Take them out. You got stuff to do. You can't really sit back and focus on, you know, your mental peace and what's going on in your mind. You don't have that privilege. I don't have that privilege. But yeah, like I say, I'm telling you like I tell myself. It does get better. I don't have a specific time limit on it, but it does eventually get better. Because you may need the reinsurance. And as I'm watching this video, I'm looking at my eyes because I need the reinsurance. Sometimes if I'm telling you this, I have to believe in myself. If I don't believe in myself, what the fuck am I telling you for? What the fuck am I telling you for? I already told you I don't have the answers. So why would you believe me now that I have the answer for you? So I have to believe this, especially when I'm talking to other people. When I'm talking to other people, I love to give them my point of view, my experience. because I would never, ever, ever, ever steer anybody in the wrong direction because I know how it feels to be led in the wrong direction. Not even by someone else, but I'm talking about by myself. I would lead myself into the wrong direction, then have to dig myself back up. But it does get better. You just have to stick. You just have to stick through it. You just have to, you know, prioritize physical health, eating right, drinking plenty of water, sunlight, interacting with individuals because we are humans that strive with interactions. We need the interactions of others, and just trying to keep a positive mindset. Like if you whatever you believe in, God, whatever you believe in, whoever you pray to, is good to believe in something. I'm not here to stare anybody no religious belief, but it's good to believe in something because it's good to know that something, some higher power is giving you the strength to keep going. So it's good to believe in something. And I know nobody's probably gonna watch this or at least get this far, so I'm just probably just talking to myself at this point. But if you did get this far, I really hope, I really, really hope you get through whatever you're going through and you're not alone. And life is not perfect, but it is beautiful. And I would never wish any type of depression, isolation on anybody, anxiety. I would never wish it on anybody because these are struggles that you can't see with the eye, and things you can't see with the eye is hard to believe in. It's hard to believe in. You gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. You gotta just know. But you're not gonna believe something until it happens to you, and this is something I wouldn't wish on nobody. But yeah, just hang in there. Um, just take it one day at a time. Stop trying to plan out your life 5 years into the future, 10 years into the future. At this stage in life, just take it one day at a time. You made it through today. Let's try and make it through tomorrow. You made it through tomorrow. Let's try and make it through that day, the next day after. And listen, just take it one day at a time until you just get your spirits back up. Because life is unpredictable. Nobody knows what could happen. Nobody knows anything, to be honest with you. We're just here winging it, trying to figure it out, trying to make as much money as possible because, society makes us worship it and we need it to live. Trying to have relationships and see if our romantic chemistry mix, and if it doesn't, trying to cope with the breakups. And it's a whole bunch. Life is a whole bunch of shit. A lot of shit be going on. A lot of shit be going on. And I don't blame people sometimes for the way they feel if they want to isolate solitude because I know I can understand the reasons why people do it. Because I remember I never used to understand why there was such like people like drug addicts and alcoholic. I never understood why when I was a little kid. I didn't understand why. Like, well, how are you a drug addict? How are you an alcoholic? Like, how are you addicted to a substance? I never understood it. But I promise you, when I got older and I experienced certain things in my life for myself, I never, I never was, a drug addict, alcoholic. But I could have seen like, okay, I understand why people do what they do, and I understand if I wasn't mentally strong enough, I'm not saying I never tried anything. I never tried hard drugs but I've tried alcohol and stuff. But if I wasn't mentally strong enough to put it down when it's time to put it down, I would have been, I would have been in a whole different space right now. I'd have been lost. I don't know where I would have been. So thank God for my mental ability to know when enough is enough and I need to take a break and, find peace in sobriety. So yeah. Anyway, I just want to say thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for listening. I pray that you overcome anything that you're going through. I pray the same thing for myself. And yeah, thank you.